I decided to embark on this journey towards spiritual awakening. As you can see, I'm in a completely different environment. I just want to still be able to upload content and take you guys with me, a very personal journey on this transition towards spiritually awakening. For the longest, I was under impression I was spiritually awake when I was living in London in the city. But what it actually means to spiritually awaken is fully let go of the personality, of the ego, of attachments. If you look at all of my content, I am still carrying a lot of ego in me. Even the topics of my videos are always very desire, manifestation driven, wanting to control the situation, wanting to control your life. This manifestation energy is a very ego-centric energy in a way. When we manifest from the soul, so we have our ego, that is our mind, our rational mind, and then we have the soul, that is our higher self, our consciousness, the being that goes beyond our body and is infinite in space and time. That is who we're trying to step into in spiritual awakening. If we manifest from the soul, we also let go of a level of control. We trust the universe, we go with flow, and this is also why a lot of videos are about detachment. But going back to my journey of spiritually awakening, what it will mean to truly spiritually awaken is for me to let go of a lot of my ego tendencies that I still had, a lot of identification as well. Even just me always introducing me as a PhD student. And that is another thing, but just the way I was communicating as well. I am probably still carrying a lot of masculine energy with me. The way I talk, very aggressive, very yelling, very screamy, not judging it. It is just not my natural state of being when I am the divine feminine. I am Devi. Devi means the divine feminine in India, in Hindu. So I decided to leave everything behind, go to a completely different environment. I'm in Bali right now to embark this journey of spiritual awakening. This is week 1, and in this little series, I want to take you with me on this journey. I'm going to do a lot of things. I'm going to Balinese healer. I'm going to get rid of negative energies, toxic entities that were still holding me back. I'm going to do some energy transmissions with very high conscious people. Also meeting other people here that are fully spiritually awakened. I realize what a long way I still have to go towards spiritually awakening. Why am I doing this? I was suffering a lot in the city environment that I was in. I was doing this sort of spiritually awakening at home in my own practices, but it could never fully develop because I would still be dragged back into my old life, to parties, to environments that I didn't want to be in, consume alcohol, do things that weren't in alignment with my true higher self. And it was eating away at me. It wasn't making me happy anymore. I've always felt this need to travel and expand, but this is more than traveling and expanding. This is about devoting my life to becoming my higher self, becoming the divine feminine, stepping into who I truly am. The process of spiritual awakening is incredibly, incredibly painful. It is a lot about opening the heart chakra and dropping my masculine shield. And it is a lot of suffering. Let your ego die. It is constantly seeking what triggers you the most, inviting what triggers you, and then facing how you might have called in this experience. What is there to learn in every trigger, in every hurt? It is almost going heads in to your trauma and the pain that you're still carrying with you in order to see the lesson and become very aware how you still probably embody a lot of ego. A lot of things that we say is like, oh, but I just feel this way, but I just feel anxious now, but this and this and that. Why do you feel this way? Go deeper. What is triggering you? And this process of dissolving the ego is a really painful one. You're looking for the things that trigger you most and then facing them head on. Facing the negative emotion, facing the pain body that you're still carrying with you. And I realized I still have a lot of trauma, especially when it comes to relationship trauma. I made a video about my toxic relationship, which I thought I healed from, but I'm still carrying such a shield with me, such deep trust issues, and simply ignoring them by avoiding it altogether is not the way to spiritually awaken. In order to spiritually awaken, we need to delve deeper into this trigger, into this pain. One thing that is really good for opening the heart chakra is being in nature. Basically, in this next vlog series, I just want to take you guys with me on this journey. Then also, if I didn't post for a few weeks and then suddenly I am this very different person, it also wouldn't make sense. So I just want to honestly take you guys with me on this journey of healing. And I've been here now a few days. I can say it has been a lot of facing my triggers, crying, a lot of purging. So this spiritually awakening, it is not a fun process. It is not. But it is about seeking the truth within you, seeking God within you, and also putting faith in God, in the universe. So stop the need to control. Stop letting go of the mind. Stop let go of the planning and the control that you want to have in your life, even about the past and the future. Let go of the past stories that you're so clinging on to. Like, you know how many times we say, oh yeah, but this is just the way I am because I went through XYZ. Well, then you're still identifying with something, with a story, with the mind. Spiritually awakening is about fully letting go of that identity. Now, everything that I say now about spiritually awakening is from a person that isn't spiritually awake yet. I thought I was. I probably dipped my toe into the feeling of it, but definitely I am not there yet. I still have a lot of ego. I still have a lot of identification. I still have a big masculine shield around me that I built from protecting myself. So I'm gonna take you guys with me on this journey and explain all the processes I'm going through. I can give you a little bit insight of what the past few days have looked like. So I've spoken a lot, had a lot of chats with other very conscious beings, high conscious beings. And what happens when you meet other high conscious beings and you are still a lot in your ego, they will mirror your ego back to you, almost on purpose to trigger you. They're not doing it in a malicious, mean manner. They are very high conscious. They don't have a lot of identification and personality anymore. They just embody the energy that they are given. So it is almost like they turn into your biggest triggers, whatever it is, maybe trauma with a previous relationship, trauma with your parents. They will embody that energy and reflect it back to you. And that is extremely triggering because you're almost like, why do I have to go through this again? I thought I cut this person out of my life and now I'm getting it back in a different form. And that is extremely triggering. But then in those cases, you have to go back to yourself. And this is not exclusive to my journey. I want you guys to take this with you wherever you are. You have to realize that if people around you trigger you, that is an indication of what you need to work on. People around you are just puppets. The reality is created in your mind. Every experience that you go through, you manifest or you attract. And God is constantly inviting you to evolve. So we have to become really aware. And instead of pointing the finger, because that is what the ego loves to do, pointing the finger like, well, you did this. How can you treat me like this? If you want to embody higher levels of consciousness, you have to detach from the other person and just ask yourself, why is this triggering me? What in me do I need to work on? That is a tough process because your ego wants to hold on and clench on and how could you do this to me and stay in this blame, shame, victim mind. And to let go of that is incredibly, incredibly painful, incredibly embarrassing, incredibly vulnerable. But all of these emotions are, again, identifications. We clench onto it. You hurt me. Now I feel this way. You decided that though. You made that story now. It is not the truth. And to transcend into higher levels of consciousness, the conclusion that I want to leave you with is it requires a lot of facing your own demons, facing your own trauma, understanding where it comes from and studying it and taking every trigger as something that you need to learn. No one else is at fault. In any scenario, not for me now in Bali meeting high conscious people, but even in your life, if your mom is triggering you, if your dad is triggering you, if your partner is triggering you, if your sister is triggering you, if your brother is triggering you, okay, if you stay in the mentality of, well, they're at fault, they're doing something wrong, you are not taking the lesson. They were put in your life by God to trigger you. And if you keep thinking about how wrong they are and I shouldn't treat you like that. You're staying in the ego. You need to let go of that, and you need to go back to yourself and start reflecting what you need to work on, what you need to learn. And this requires a lot of courage, a lot of purging, a lot of letting go of shields. It's been such a difficult process, honestly. Now, why did I feel the need to completely change environment? There are so many social constructs going on, especially in the city. And in order for my journey to fully spiritually awaken, I needed to get out of that. And I needed to surround myself with other high conscious people so that I can learn from that, gurus. Because in the environment I was in, I was doing all this spiritual journey. I was just doing this whole spiritual journey by myself. And I needed more guidance and lessons. So yeah, that is a little bit about the journey that I'm on. And I would love to take you guys with me, make a video every week to show you what is going on. And I am literally sitting in nature. And this is such a I used to be so scared of insects. The fact that I'm just sitting here in nature, the fact that I just went out by myself and just drove to a random place in nature is honestly growth. Fucking hell, my camera is covered in insects right now. Fun stuff. Anyway, I want to take you guys with me on this journey. I don't want to become a vlogger, but I do want to become a little bit more personal with you guys and like truly take you with me on this journey. I think that'd be way more fun. And then you also can realize and see the transition that I'm going through. How cool. This random cute spot. I drove here on my scooter. Over the next few weeks, you will see my energy soften a lot, hopefully, when I continue this spiritually awakening. To step into my divine feminine, that is truly the purpose. Let go of my ego, let go of my attachment, let go of my personality. Which is, honestly, guys, I didn't realize, like, you read about it. I think I have a lot of knowledge about spirituality. But the actual embodiment was what I was still struggling with. Actual embodiment I was still struggling with. And I have met conscious people that honestly have no personality. How they act and the way they move and the way they speak changes the whole time depending on who they're with, because they just pick up on other people's energy. Now, honestly, when I saw that for the first time, I was like, I'm not sure if I want to take it that far. But mind you that the path towards fully spiritually awakening is the path towards peace, healing, is the path of letting go of the mind and the control that the mind can have over you, the control that all these negative emotions can have over you. The main reason I'm doing this, and this really comes back in the Bhagavad Gita, is because I want to commit my life to the selfless service for others. I want to truly help people. And I can only do that if I am spiritually awakened myself from the most genuine place possible, instead of also making videos that might push people further into their ego and their selfish ways. Not that it is not wrong. There's nothing wrong with desiring, but the intention of desiring is very important. Does it come from the ego, or does it come from pure intentions? And it is a lot about acting without the need for results, rather doing things for your dharma, for your purpose. And my dharma is definitely to actually help people and help them expand their consciousness and help the world on a larger scale. Honestly, I don't know how yet, but with all the damage that is going on to this earth and all the unsustainability, I don't want to be part of the matrix that is just making the world even a worse place, like banks, pharmaceutical industry. I don't want to go on a rant now, but that's why I'm doing this, and I want to take you guys with me. Also, if you're interested on my personal manifestation course for invoking an identity shift, link is in the description. This has helped people change their life. So if you're open to that, go check it out. Definitely leave me a comment. What do you think about this whole new journey that I'm embarking on? I would love to hear your thoughts. And I see you in my next video next week, where I'll probably have more to tell on this spiritually awakening journey. Sending my love.